Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this live. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about personal branding on social media. And we have Karim from 1 Second Digital Marketing Agency who is just about to join us. So please bear with us and we'll kickstart this session on personal branding. Karim, I think you are already with us. Okay. Karim is just about to join. Let me just check again. So today we're going to be talking about how to elevate your personal brand on social media. This is a session which is relevant for healthcare practitioners, physicians, beauty therapists, anybody who's active on social media or wants to be active on social media. But this is relevant as well for clinics who are in charge of motivating physicians to join social media and be more active. So Karim is trying to join, and bear with me. I've accepted you, Karim, so everything should be fine. Please make sure that you have a VPN on as well in order to join the video. So hello, everybody. Hi, Karim. I think you're just joining us now.
Hi, Salman. Finally, we made
Hi,
it.
Karim. It's always fun to try and have people join me on this live. There's always technical issues. I don't know whether it's us or whether it's Instagram.
That's all good.
So I'm
We're
not
here.
able to see you, but can our followers see us? If you can just drop a comment, that would be super helpful. Because so far I can only see myself. So I hope that our followers can see you as well.
I can see you. Is it, can you hear me
Okay.
right now?
Any of the followers here, some of our lovely ladies, Parul or Nariman, can you just drop a comment, please, if you can see
Yeah.
Karim on the video? Yes, we can see both. Thank you, Dr. Azaiba. Amazing. Okay, great. So Karim, thank you so much for joining this session. Let's get started right away since everybody can see us. So Karim is the founder and managing partner of 1 Second Digital, 1 Second Agency, which is a digital marketing agency specialized in the digital marketing activities of healthcare practitioners and clinics. So this is going to be very relevant for all our followers today. Karim is an active member of Invicta Academy, and that's why I'm delighted to welcome him today to this session. First of all, I have to say, Karim, that I love the name of your agency, which is 1 Second Digital Marketing Agency. So tell us a little bit more why it's called 1 Second, and please introduce yourself.
Thanks very much, Salman. Yes, so 1 second, it's because unfortunately this has become our attention span. We're able to focus on 1 second on social media and we're scrolling. You have 1 second to make that first impression and capture the attention of your viewers. That's why we called it 1 second.
Exactly. So if there's already one information for you to take away today is that the beginning of your videos, of your speeches, whether it's in the clinic, whether it's on social media, it's always the first seconds that count the most, and almost the first one is the most important. So focus a lot on that always. So Karim, thank you so much for participating. Today we're going to be talking about practical tips and examples of how practitioners can elevate their personal brand on social media. We're seeing nowadays a lot of physicians joining social media, starting to record reels and podcasts and posting content, which is great. And hopefully this session will help you to have even more results and engagement out of those posts, which we know are quite time consuming and sometimes quite expensive as well. So we're here to help you. So let's get started. Karim, my first question for you is, as we know, physicians now
Before
are, yeah.
Servan, right before you ask this question, we're on a live and you just mentioned engagement. So we have 8 or 9 viewers now. There is a secret hack for the algorithm that we could do now is to get people to engage. So Dubai, I just wanted to start with Dubai is an amazing city. We live in the UAE. What makes it so amazing is that it's a melting pot. So you have people from all over the world coming to have a better life here. And we would love to know where everyone is from. So if you could just drop the name of your country or the flag where you're from, we'd love to see that in the comment section.
Okay, please type away. So I
Yeah.
already can see some of our regular followers. So Nariman, Faith, Dr. Zaiba, Parul, Laurette, Dr. Mihaela. So we'd love to know. And as well, if you can type what is your specialty and what you're hoping to gain from this session, feel free to drop more comments. Great suggestion, Karim.
The more comments, the more reach we will have.
Wow, so
South
we're learning
Africa.
things already. So South Africa, great. Faith was the first one. And South Africa, lovely to meet you again, Faith, and join us. And Faith is a beauty therapist by training and a trainer as well, if I recall properly. And she's currently based out of Abu Dhabi. I think we have some shy followers who don't want to reveal their identity.
It's okay. We got some more engagement later on.
Okay, so please feel free to post comments. We always have a few comments when we're doing those lives and questions, but it's really important because it's very boring if it's just us talking to you. It's all about engagement, as we know, and this is how Instagram is going to love you when they can see that you keep engaging. So, great comment from, I think, Samer, good idea to keep the people interested and keep watching. Dr. Mihaela is from Croatia. Faith is a clinical trainer in aesthetics. We have Ecuador, which is great. Ecuadorian Lebanese living in Qatar. Wow, very international. Marketer in the aesthetic field. I think, Laurette, we were hoping to see you in one of our events, if I recall, last time. You couldn't make it. Hopefully next time. Okay, so great. So we've got you warmed up. So, Karim, why is it that physicians really need to be on social media nowadays? And how is it going to help their own careers? And how is it going to help the clinic's objectives and the patient needs at the same time?
Okay, so from a doctor's perspective, on a personal level, using social media is probably in 2024 the fastest way for you to reach wealth. And by that, we mean there's very few activities now that allow you to multiply yourself. When you create video and you post it on social media, you become omnipresent. And this is a huge advantage because doctors can only see a limited number of patients during the day. And if they want to maximize their impact and be in touch with people and their patients and help as many people as possible, now they can do that with the beauty of social media by creating genuine content, using video. And I think this is a very exciting time and that we are witnessing now. And it's only been a year. Before that, it was always images, design posts. So now there's a big shift into creating this video content that can make you omnipresent and automated.
Amazing. So bigger reach and omnipresent and visibility, because we know that we are operating in a very crowded healthcare scene as well and crowded social media space. So this is your chance to grab your space, be more active, and drive more traction with the clinic at the same time. So thank you, Karim.
Yeah, I would like to add to that because we speak with a lot of doctors and we realize that mainly doctors don't have a service problem. We're in a saturated market, so they really have an awareness problem. Not enough people know about them. Their patients know about them, their circle of friends know about them, but the whole market doesn't know about them because there's just too much noise out there. So social media allows you to put yourself in front of more people. And the beauty now of the algorithm became so good that they can match you with the person who would be interested in your content. So if you're creating content consistently, and consistently is the key here, then you would reach your audience organically. And since Instagram, Facebook, all these platforms they are free, they do need to make money, so they limit that reach, and they would want you to boost your posts and put in some advertising if to reach the exact audience that you want. And with advertising, you can really target people who are similar to your patient base. You can really go granular there and reach the right audience. So you have to create the content, you have to post it consistently, and this will allow you to reach the right audience and multiply yourself and get more patients.
Absolutely. Thanks for adding this point, Karim. I think consistency is the word that I would love to emphasize. I think it's very tempting to just, get out there, get started with social media, put all the efforts, and then be a little bit demotivated sometimes because the algorithm is not yet working with us and giving up. But it's all about consistency, patience, and ultimately, as Karim said, the algorithm will match you up with the right followers, and it doesn't need to cost you a lot of money. If everything is boosted in the right manner, you'll be able to consistently grab more followers and attention. So thank you for that point. So being on social media, okay, we know we need to be there, but where do we have to be? Where do healthcare practitioners in particular have to be in order to maximize their efforts? Because we have different social media channels nowadays, Karim, and if you can give us a run through them and which ones do you recommend doctors and clinics to focus on?
So let's ask our audience, what's your favorite platform? If you can comment your favorite platform, is it Instagram? We're on it now. Is it LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, maybe Snapchat? We could see some.
So everyone here will
think.
be on Instagram for sure. Is everybody on TikTok? Is anyone on TikTok? I would like to know, or Snapchat, or anyone thinking to be on there? Instagram, LinkedIn, Instagram, okay. Who else is on TikTok or Snapchat or LinkedIn? And are you using these for social media? Lauret's saying Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn and Insta. Okay.
You must be super young.
I was about to say.
Okay, so I can try to explain the difference between the platforms from our perspective. Each one has their opinion about them. Mainly, Instagram is the most popular platform in the UAE for services like healthcare services. Okay, why? Because it allows you to have a more control over your aesthetic and how you present yourself on the platform itself. TikTok is more of an entertainment platform. It's even their positioning. They want to entertain people and educate them, give them some valuable content in a fun way on TikTok. So there's always things are on a spectrum. TikTok doesn't have to be videos of doctors dancing. It could be used in a more professional way. Instagram has the tendency to be more serious or more professional. When it comes to work, LinkedIn, of course, LinkedIn has a different purpose. You grow your connections within your industry, you meet thought leaders, you can share more of your work on LinkedIn, which would be perceived as something that might be not that interesting on Instagram. In Instagram, you have to captivate your audience. You need to create that hook, which we're going to talk about in a second. Yeah, so my personal favorite would be Instagram. I've been using it for a long time, and I've seen the evolution, and I've seen the improvement of the algorithm of how it presents the information that you want. Your Instagram is different than my Instagram. To answer your question in a short way, I would say pick your platform and commit to it for at least 3 to 6 months. Start creating content, post it, and then see if you're getting results from it. But choose one. Don't dilute yourself. Don't say I'm going to be on all the platforms, and start creating different types of content.
Always better to do one thing amazing than several things in an average manner, for sure. So let's focus then on Instagram, Karim, for the next question, since all our followers are using this platform already. So what are the trending and most engaging methods of sharing content right now on Instagram to get results and engagement? We have reels nowadays, we have stories, we have lives as we are doing now, we have testimonials, we have podcasts. So what are your tips, please?
Let's ask our let's ask our audience. I would
Let's
love to
ask the
know
audience.
what is their favorite type of post. Do they like to go live? Not a lot of people go live. Do they like to post stories? Some doctors prefer stories over videos. What type of videos do they like to do? Talking heads, as in, you know, you're facing the camera and explaining or talking. Do they like to show their patient experience? You know, dermatologists have a different type of content than, let's say, a pediatrician. The dermatologist would have to show the transformation, the before and after, the patient experience, doing the injectables. Pediatrician would be someone who would need to explain things. So a podcast style video would fit them more to get their message across in an effective way.
About customizing the channel or the medium that you're using according to your specialty. Great point.
I think we also have to look at trends. So what is working now? You see a lot of podcast style videos where you know, you're talking to someone else. It captivates you. You want someone to have that feeling that they are sitting with you and listening versus a doctor talking at them in a very medical way that can be perceived as you know, very educational and not very interesting. Especially what you say in your content is very important. Steering away from super technical, explaining things in a very medical way. Just be yourself. Like, how would a consultation be with a normal person in front of you? How would you talk to them? Use these words. It has to be conversational, not, you know, reciting something that you've written and prepared before. So this is very important in terms of how you create your content in order for you to start seeing these results. So there's no real, like, one unique type of content that only works and the rest don't work. It's a mixture of everything, and you have to remember that it's social media. Then we don't have to be super serious on it. We just have to be ourselves.
Keeping it natural and authenticity. I absolutely agree with this. And this is what drives the most engagement when your followers or your patients see you. They have to feel like this is natural, this is not staged, this is not rehearsed. And Instagram is all about instant as well. So we want things to appear as instant and natural as possible, conversational, your tone of voice, your body language, and your content needs to be very conversational. So, and does Instagram, Karim, have like favor any of this content? As you said, you know, it has to be tailored according to the audience and so on. But does Instagram favor at the moment, for example, podcast over reels, over lives? Like, is there an algorithm for those?
From what we see and we hear other experts saying, and from what Instagram explains, because from time to time they try to explain their algorithm. And the way it works is not really what you're putting out there, it's mainly the watch time. So if you're creating a video and it's 60 seconds, and in the first 3 seconds people are dropping, there's a huge downfall in your viewership, then Instagram will not show it to more people. If you see kind of like a flat line in your viewers from that are staying until the end of the video and watching the entire video, it signals to Instagram so that whatever you're showing them is something that is valuable, and it will start to show it to more people and you would get more views. So the idea is to prepare what you want to say when you create videos, and say them in a very straightforward way that will keep people watching until the end.
Throughout the end. So the more your followers are hooked onto your videos, the more Instagram will be hooked onto your content. It follows the same pattern.
Yeah.
So talking about hooks, Karim, my next question before we ask a question to the audience is going to be, how can physicians or clinics create engaging videos with a very strong hook from the very first second to keep the followers watching? But before we ask that, I'd like to ask the followers, is there any practical tip that you'd like us to share? What's the reason for you joining this session today? Obviously, you're interested in elevating your brand on social media. Is there a problem that we can help you solving? Is there a technical question that you have about creating reels, videos, or podcasts? Please drop it here so that we can answer it as well. So just drop any reason why you joined this live today. What are you hoping to get from it? Any particular question that you have, that would be great for us to know and answer as well.
I'll tell you one good reason, because I did mention that I'm going to be sharing a secret, which was the hook for everyone to watch this live. And we will share it. The good news about hooks is that there is a formula to it. Hooks are not random. There's a psychological formulas for hooks to work, to hook you in. Would you like me to share it with you?
Well, I'm ready for it. And we have one of our lovely followers who loves secrets.
Yeah.
So yes, we want to have one takeaway secret from this session. So what is the psychological formula of creating hooks, please? Karim.
Okay. And I'll tell you, we found out this by trying so many videos and hooks. So social media and marketing in general, it's all about testing. People don't know what's going to work. They test, you look at the results, and then you iterate and improve. And one of our clients' doctors' videos got 500,000 views. So we reverse engineered it. What made it go so viral? And it was actually the hook, the first 3 seconds. And there's 3 parts for a hook to work. One is curiosity. It has to trigger curiosity to stop people from scrolling when they're watching. So everything has to look well from the first impression, that 1 second. The background has to look good, the doctor has to look good, and the first words that they're going to say, they have to be attention grabbing. Now, the second part is emotions. Whatever that doctor is going to say needs to trigger an emotion. And for some reason, negative emotions, I get people to stop and want to see whatever they're doing is harming them or not. So when you say a negative emotion, it gets them to watch. And the third thing is relevance. So when they're seeing a person who is a doctor talking about something that is medical, something that concerns their personal health, then whatever they're saying becomes more credible and they would tend to believe it. Okay, so these are the 3 things. You don't want someone, wearing like a chef or a cook and talking about health, health tips. So these are the 3 formulas: spark curiosity, trigger emotion, and be relevant. Okay. Now,
Great.
for the hook that worked, the formula, I'm going to give you the actual structure of what an excellent hook would be like. Okay, so the sentence of a hook would be: if you have health condition, do not panic about getting your desired outcome because, and you give the explanation. So the actual hook of this reel that went viral was: if you have PCOS, do not panic about getting pregnant because people will get pregnant on their own. And then you explain.
I am sure that we're going to see more reels, Karim, from our followers with this hook, and I hope we are going to see it. So please write this down, and maybe, Karim, you want to repeat it again for the people joining us. So we need to create a hook from the very beginning, looking impeccable, impeccable background, emotions, and relevance. And one example that Karim gave us, he's going to repeat it now.
Yes. So if you have a health condition, don't panic if you want to achieve your desired goal. Because let me tell you why, and I'll explain. So the example is, if you have PCOS, don't panic about getting pregnant, because most people will get pregnant on their own, and then you explain.
Great. Thank you for that, Karim. And we know that when we're talking about emotions, I'd like to remind you as well that emotions, it's something that is also an algorithm, a psychological algorithm in the follower's mind that happens. So we know that the verbal words that the audience or followers are hearing are important, of course, but the body language and the tone of voice and the expressions that are going to appear on your face are going to be extremely important for that follower to bond and connect with you and continue watching you as well. So this is something that you will get from practice. Ultimately, you know, the first time you're appearing on videos, for sure, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, and we are not looking super natural usually in the beginning. But the more we practice, the more we are able to control this and convey a very natural, authentic, and emotional content to our viewers. I'd like to take this opportunity to let you know we have an upcoming confident speaker bootcamp on the 19th of April, where we are hoping to get you more confident and practicing with as well some examples and strategies for you to be comfortable in front of the camera, and how to use the art of storytelling with interesting data when you are actually recording those social media videos. So, Karim, thank you so much for this great tip.
Yes, so speaking of this bootcamp training for communication skills, I think it's extremely beneficial for anyone who is considering to start creating videos on social media. Why? Because if you are not comfortable in front of the camera, get comfortable in front of the camera. Train. It takes practice. And once you're comfortable, then you start to create your content on social media and start posting it. I see a lot of doctors who would approach us. They're not comfortable in front of the camera. And then this pressure gets created that, okay, we need to create videos. Let's shoot. I need to start posting this month. And, you know, they haven't really addressed the challenge of them being comfortable in front of the camera, which would reflect in the videos. So just like anything, you know, just like I always compare it to an athlete. You're not going to run a marathon if you never ran in your life. Just start training, practice, and once you become comfortable, then you can start creating content and put yourself out there on social media.
Absolutely. Thanks for reinforcing this, Karim. So it's something definitely that takes practice. We ourselves are not a social media agency. We are here to help you with your personal, interpersonal skills. So as Karim says, so that when you arrive in the podcast studio or you arrive in front of the camera, you've learned this body language, this tone of voice, but also you have a better idea of how you want to build your content. The social media agency will be here to help you tweak it, give you ideas, as Karim just did, but also you can start generating your own content by yourself by creating content that we know follows these psychological patterns. So hopefully you'll find some value in this. I think even the idea of going to a bootcamp and practicing and doing role plays is uncomfortable. But we know that the best way to progress is to get out of the comfort zone and start practicing. You'll be with people that probably are feeling the same as you, but we'll take baby steps. We have an amazing theater and communication coach to make things a little bit more fun. We have a physician as well who's very active on Instagram and herself has learned those tips and tricks, you know, on how to create that engagement with the followers when she's releasing those reels, and myself. So looking forward to seeing some of you there, hopefully on the 19th of April. So, Karim, next question, and I think this is the last one that we have for today, is talking more about actually what you do, but making it practical for everyone out there. So as we said, it's very much a teamwork for you to get the impact that you want from your social media. You have first to work on yourself. You have to work probably with your team, with your clinic as well. But doing it without a social media agency, of course, is going to yield probably slower results or lesser results. So we know there's a lot of social media agencies out there. And Karim will tell us what will be the benefit of working with a social media agency, possibly how to choose your social media agency, because this is not straightforward either, and how you're all going to work as a team in order to get better and quicker results. And of course, I'm sure with minimum budget, hopefully.
We can answer the budget question at the end. Um, so I think it's important to explain the dynamics of what happens if you're working with an agency, what happens if you're working with a freelancer, and what happens if you're trying to figure it out on your own. So trying to figure it out on your own, if you're a doctor or a medical practitioner, you've studied and you've invested most of your time in medicine. So if you have a bubbly personality and you're comfortable in front of the camera and you can, you have no problem creating content, go for it. It is time consuming. Now it is probably less time consuming because there's very little design work needed. You just create videos. So if you can do that, great. If you go with the freelancer option, most freelancers would wait for you to give them directions. So they are executors. The doctor would have to, invest all the time in planning, coming up with the content, sharing it with the freelancer. There's a lot of reiteration, revisions, etc. So it's also quite exhausting. It is budget friendly, but then you're investing your time, which is more valuable than the money that you're paying that freelancer. Because the doctor's consultation, in 15 minutes is worth a lot. So spending those 15 minutes trying to figure out social media on your own and doing it and telling someone how to do it, then, I think it's something to consider, is it worth it, the time investment. Now, working with an agency, especially a professional agency, is something where, yes, there's a bigger budget. Bigger budget also means higher commitment. Also, when you're working with an agency, you're not working with one person, you're working with a team. So the dynamics should be the agency is saving time and coming up with high quality content and, maintaining that consistency in the content creation. Now, not all agencies are equal, just like not all doctors can provide the same services to everyone. When you go to a generalist, they can assess things and then they would need to tell you to go to see a specialist based on your condition. So in the agency world, if you're working with an agency that is working across different industries, the team that you're working with have to split their time. Half of it is on medical, and the other half would be maybe on F&B, restaurants or gyms. So it has nothing to do with your world. So that's why it's better and more efficient to work with a specialized agency, depending on the industry that you're in, because your team would be living, breathing, and your world, the medical world. And plus you get that added bonus because that agency is specialized and only works within your industry, that then your team gets the insights from different clients, different clinics. What's happening here? We tested this here. We got these results. So you fast track your growth with a specialized agency.
Well,
For the
time is
budget,
money, as we know,
yes.
so fast tracking is very important for to get results and not waste money. I think this is a very important point. Is for sure, like everything has a cost, but I think sometimes there's a lot of wasted efforts and wasted budgets as well by choosing the wrong agencies or trying to do it ourselves or working with freelancers. So, there's no right or wrong. But I think if you choose your social media agency carefully, you'll get to learn from what they've learned as well, right? So you're fast tracking your success, basically. Thank you so much, Karim, for this insight. And I think, the golden question, this is not a secret, but it's a golden bonus question at the end. I get personally a lot of phone calls from physicians who are asking me, do you have the contact of a social media agency? And do you know how much this should cost me? So we know that the budgets can really vary. Of course, there's different options for different budgets. But what is a reasonable budget, perhaps, for a practitioner who's starting, has so far not done any work with a social media agency, tried to do it themselves on the page, and wants maybe to step things up, to step up the game a little bit more? What's your advice on this, Karim?
So budget-wise, I think the approach of what should I invest in my marketing, um, it's an investment, so it's not an expense. It becomes an expense when you don't know what the outcome is going to be and when you don't see results. So if you get started, you create content, you start getting this feedback. Of course, it has to check all the criteria of high quality content, valuable content. I have a good image, I'm consistent. The service provider can give me all these things, and then you start to build your personal brand. It becomes an investment. You're investing in yourself, in your image, in your reputation, in your market awareness. So the budget should be unlimited, in my opinion. The more you invest, the higher the returns are going to be. And this is the ultimate goal. Now, as a starting budget, we have to be realistic. Once I had a meeting with a doctor, and the doctor had no idea of what they would spend. They gave me she thought that it was going to be a couple of hundred dirhams. Um, so, and it's even less than the consultation for 1 hour. So I think there needs to be a realistic understanding of I'm investing in myself. I need to create content. This content now requires video. And in video, there's a lot of things that are involved: camera, equipment, people, planning, topics, etc. So there's a lot of time involved and to be able to create this and expertise. So I think the agency has a pricing. It depends on the doctor, the conversations, etc. that you would have with them. But the expectation should be that this is an investment, and once I start it, it has to be done right. And if it's done right, I'm going to start receiving back from it, get more return. I will start hearing feedback. People will tell me, oh, we created this video, I watched it. You will start seeing new patients telling you, I came because I watched your video, not only because my friend referred me to you. And then you can start elaborating more. There's so much you can do on social media. The more you invest, the more you create your wealth online.
Perfect. So can we have a number in terms of like what's reasonable maybe in order to get, I don't know, like 5 videos, 10 videos per month with the help of a social media agency? It's for sure not a few hundred dirhams, but are we talking a few thousand dirhams as something reasonable?
Yes, I don't like to give a number because it
It
gives a
sticks to people's minds.
it's just a number without explanation of what's
Yeah,
coming with it.
sure.
So yes, it will be in the thousands, not hundreds, because there is a team involved and
For sure.
creating content, videos, etc. So it's a conversation that I'm open to have, and if anyone has questions about it, then I'll be happy to answer them.
And I think, as you know, a spend, as Karim said, is not a spend, it's an investment towards your brand, towards your career, towards your future. But also, you know, we always have to put expenses in perspective with revenue, right? So in marketing, there used to be a formula, actually, which was even before the era of social media and digital marketing, but there used to be a formula that any business, any company, or any brand, so therefore any physician even, should spend a very, very minimum of at least 5% of their revenue on marketing in order to sustain the brand, in order to sustain the business. That's not even in order to grow the brand. So I don't know, let's just do a quick formula, but let's say, you know, you're generating 100,000 dirhams of revenue and consultations and treatments per month. That means that an absolute minimum of 5,000 dirhams of that should go to sustaining your business and brand. So also, you know, like have these kind of formulas in mind and try to see like how your spend is fitting in, of course, with what you bring in or what you can potentially bring in, right? So hopefully this session has been helpful. We would like to close with some engagement from you guys, and we'd like to ask you what's been the major takeaway for you from this session. Has there been any tip that you're going to be applying from today onwards? Any information that you were not aware of, any algorithm that you're happy you found out? Please share it with us and with the audience. Some people joined a little bit late and maybe didn't catch the secrets that were really revealed. So if you'd like to just drop in a little note, it's all about sharing. Sharing is caring. So Karim, talking about sharing, thank you so much for taking time and sharing some of those tips with our audience. And we hope to see you in one of our upcoming sessions. If anybody is planning to attend some upcoming events by Invictamed, I'm sure you'll have a chance to meet Karim as well, or you can get in touch with them at 1 Second social media agency on Instagram. So thank you, Dr. Zabat, for the feedback about the hook.
Thank you.
Informative and engaging. Thank you, guys. And I hope you enjoyed it.
I wanted to also thank you for creating Invictamed and creating this community where we can support each other and share knowledge, expertise, support, help, because we're all on our journey. And you know, that community that you're creating and building is extremely rewarding and helpful.
Thank you. I really value this feedback, Karim. And yes, hopefully that's my goal, is to create a community where we can all work together rather than against each other. Everybody is unique, so it doesn't matter if we all have the same secrets and the same tips. I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other. And these communities exist, you know, in other parts of the world where healthcare practitioners get together to grow their practice, to grow their brand, to grow their business. But this community is not here in Dubai and the Middle East, and this is the goal and mission of Invictamed. So we wouldn't be able to do it, of course, without having contributors like you, Karim. So thank you again.
Thank you. Have an amazing day, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day. See you on the next live. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.